Well, hello there. Today we're going to make something that was suggested unknowingly by I'm a Junk Collector. A while back he told me about spud nuts. And I said, spud nuts? I don't think I've ever had a spud nut, not knowingly. Anyway, I may have eaten a million of them and never knew it. Anyway, he piqued my interest, and I went ahead and looked around on the internet for spud nuts. He told me he ran a donut shop at the end of a railroad line or subway line or something for a number of years, and he told me they were really super duper good stuff. So I'm going to make some today. I did find a recipe, more than one actually, 2 or 3 recipes, and I kind of going to put a little combination of all of them together, see if we can't come up with my first batch of spud nuts. And I don't know, they may turn out good, they may turn out terrible. We're going to find out. First thing you got to do is take a what is that? That is a cup of milk. No, actually 3/4 cup of milk that's been warmed, and we're going to take a teaspoon of yeast. And we're going to mix those two together. We're going to let them set for about 10 minutes. All right, let the yeast activate, because we're going to be, hopefully I'll be mixing almost the entire thing in this one bowl. Now we do have some measuring cups full of this and that, but almost everything I think can be done inside one bowl. The next thing we're supposed to do is take a 1/4 cup of sugar, although I got a 1/4 cup of sugar here, but I also added 2 teaspoons of light brown sugar to go in there with it. Yeah, we're going to mix it up here a little bit. I just don't want plain ordinary white sugar. No, we want to kind of brown it up a little bit with light sugar. So we actually have probably a little bit more than a 1/4 cup. So we put that in there like that. Then it says a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Let's see here. Let's get down here so we know where the 1/4 cup is. That's about a 1/4 cup. We'll go ahead and pour that in there. Then it says we need to add a 1/4 cup of water. Let's get some water here. Now our water goes in, 1/4 cup of water. Now we need to stick it over on the mixer and mix it until it's all dissolved. The sugar's all dissolved. Let's see if we can get this done here. Get that down in there. Lock this baby. Hit it on low speed. We're going to dissolve that until all the sugar is dissolved. Then we're going to add some more stuff to it. Now normally, you could take a large potato, a couple of large potatoes, or maybe a couple of mediums, peel them, boil them, mash them up, and that's what you would use. But I'm going to use potato flakes. You can do either one, and I'm not really certain how many flakes make a potato. So I'm putting in 1 cup. 1 full cup would equal a potato, I guess. So we're going to have to add that. We're going to add that. And we are going to add next, what comes in next? Let me see, the potato, the salt, and the yeast mixture. Okay, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Like so. And now the yeast mixture that we put together. Let's go ahead and stir it a little more here. We'll stir it up. And we'll pour that in there. We're going to be putting some flour, all-purpose flour, in here pretty soon. But right now, let's go ahead and mix that up again. Let that mix on a nice slow speed. Alright, the next 2 things that go in are a couple of eggs. Let's pour a couple of eggs right down in there. We're almost ready to turn this into a dough. And a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. That goes in. Now we mix it up again, and then we're going to go ahead and change to the dough hook, add the flour, and we're fixing to whip up the old dough here. Well, let's let this mix first for a while. Alright, the last thing to go in is 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. There's 2. And let me see, this is a little bit more than a 1/4. We better cut it down just a little bit. Yeah, 2¼ cups. I think, did I say 2¼ or 2½? It's 2½. Oh my goodness. We got to get it all in there. It's 2½. Alright, now we go ahead and put our dough hook on, which I've already done, and lock her down, and we'll give her a nice slow mix. So let's see what happens. I'm expecting a sticky dough. We'll see. Alright, she's starting to form pretty good. What you have to do now when that happens, when it starts to build up on the sides, you take a little spatula here, kind of Roll it down there toward the middle. I may have to wind up adding just a little more milk to this thing as it seems awfully dry. We'll see. You know, I put those potato flakes in there and I wasn't exactly certain how many that would equal a potato, so I may have dried it up a little bit. I may have to put just a little more milk in it, or maybe just a little more water. We'll see. Alright, it's a little sticky, just the way we want it. That's what I want right there, a little bit sticky. Now we're going to let this sit for about an hour, and hopefully it'll double in size. And I had to add about 1/4 cup of extra water to get it this consistency. So I'll work it around a little bit more with the spatula, get rid of these holes and things, and we'll just cover it with saran wrap and let it sit for an hour and see if it'll rise. If it doesn't rise, I guess I'll have to try it next time with a boiled potato, but we'll see. Well, the dough's gotten a little bit larger anyway. I'm not sure it's double the size, but it's been over an hour. So what we're going to do is put a little flour on the board, and then we'll scoop this out on top of it. Alright, a little bigger than I thought it was once I got it out of the bowl. Put a little flour on top. Then we'll just go ahead and flatten it down. We'll take the roller, put a little flour on the roller. Get it nice and good. Then we'll start rolling this stuff out till it's maybe between 1/4 and 1/2 inch thick. Well, here's our first rollout. And I have 2 different size donut cutters. I have this one here, which is about, I guess it's about 2 inch. And then I got a man-sized donut cutter right there. I ordered that special on eBay quite a while ago. Now, wifey wants me to cut some of the donuts like this for her. But for me, we're going to have some big ones. Okay, let's get started. What we're going to do is go ahead and just cut it out. And then we're going to set it on a cookie sheet. It's got wax paper on the top. We're going to let them rise for about another 30 minutes or so after I get them all cut and put together, re-rolled, cut, till we're down to nothing. Let's see how well that works out. Well, the old cutting board wasn't doing the trick, so I had to get out the old pastry mat instead. And now we get much better looking donuts after they're cut, you know. We'll just chalk that up to a lesson learned there. Look at that, much better looking donuts. Whereas you can see, look at these other things. But these are much better. Okay, like I said, lesson learned, use the old pastry mat. Man, those are some nice looking donuts with the exception of these over here. Alright, now we're going to go for the big one. We're going to go for the Gusto. Here we go with the great big one. Let's see how this one turns out. I haven't cut. This is the first time I think I've ever used a big donut cutter like this. I think I've had it. I can't remember using it. Let's see how well it does. It may not be worth a flip. I don't know. Just going to take another hand here. Well, that's not too bad. About twice as big as the rest. Hey, I deserve a donut like that. Well, that's what we got out of that batch, and a couple of more over here. One large, one small, and what I had left over, I made spud logs. Okay, now what we have to do is take a little bit of non-cooking spray. This is olive oil. Just kind of spray over the top. And let them go ahead and rise for about, I guess maybe 20-30 minutes, whatever I feel like doing. What I'm going to do now is set up the deep fryer and get it ready, because I'll tell you what, I'm getting a hankering for these things. The green light is on, which means the deep fryer is ready. I'm cooking them at about 350 degrees. And we're going to go ahead and cook our potato log, our 2 spud logs, I guess. Our 2 spud logs first, and then we'll go ahead and cook these last 2. I think I can probably just shake these 2 right off in there. Just let them get on in there. There we go. Alright, let's see how that works out. And then we'll start cooking all the rest. We wound up with a couple of dozen. I'm not exactly certain how long to cook these things, so I think I better take them out now. I'm kind of going by the color and the fact that they're floating. So I'm just kind of, I don't know, I may have overcooked these. I think I'll break one open and see what it's like. A couple of minutes is all it was. We'll see what happens, and then if it looks good, then I'll cook the rest the same way. Well, I took a little munch out of it. Nice, and look at that. Just perfect right in the middle. Nice. Of course, I guess I could be a little bit more golden brown on the outside instead of quite so dark, but the inside is perfect. Not at all. No problem. No burns at all. All right, let's keep going here. Let's keep rocking and rolling. The second batch of large ones are nice. They got a great, nice color to them. That's what I wanted. And I am now cooking the small ones, and we're cooking about 6 at a time. Remember, when you put your donuts in the grease, the temperature goes down. Or the oil, the temperature goes down, so you have to wait until it builds back up. This light on here, whenever I put the donuts in, the light goes out, the green light. And then it has to, you know, heat back up, and once it gets green again, then I know I'm good to go. Actually, what you're supposed to do after you take your donuts out, you have to wait until the green light comes back on. But as soon as you put the donuts back in, the green light goes out again, so you have to wait till it comes back up. And then they just, you know, it's just one of these patience things. It's now time to make the glaze for these things. 2 cups of powdered sugar and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. I just put the extract in there. I've got some hot water, or I've got some water getting ready to boil on the stove. Now once that water starts to boil, I'll take it off and I'll slowly add it and stir it into the powdered sugar and vanilla extract. Just a little bit at a time until it becomes kind of gooey and pasty like. And that's when we're ready to dip the donuts. Alright, that's what I'm going to do until they're all done. Then I'll get Great Grandma's opinion on these things. Yeah. Well, that's it. My version of spud nuts. You know, maybe not perfect, but it's the first time I ever made them. And Wifey says they taste pretty good, and they've got the glaze on them. I probably put a little bit too much vanilla in the glaze, but you know, I like a lot of vanilla. Some people don't. Right now, I'm going to take 2 of them in and give them to Great Grandma, see what she says. All right, we have our official taste tester here. Grandma, tell me what you think. Good, bad, or indifferent?
It's good.
You like it?
It's
Take another bite just to be sure.
Anything sweet.
Anything sweet is good. You want a cup of coffee with it, or is it too late at night?
No.
You'd like a cup of coffee with it? Let me get you a cup of coffee. Half a cup, all right? Well, Great Grandma's knocking out the second one. She got her coffee. She hasn't even touched your coffee. You want a third one?
No.
Don't want a third one? Can't handle a third one, huh? All right.
Oh, sweet. What I want.
More sugar than you want to handle, right? It's good, though. All right, that's it. We'll go ahead and wrap this one up. And until next time, this is John.